This video is the second part of a two-part series on consisting. It takes the information that we worked out in the first part and now we're actually going to apply it to our locos. So this is going to be our lead loco in our consist. It's Scale Trains Gevo that's in there, fitted with a decoder buddy and a Tsunami 2, and also with a Scale Sounds system speaker. So what we do is we will now show that it at the moment that it's operating as normal. So I'll just start it up. So at the moment what I've done is hopefully you can see on there, in mine there, it's actually 1776 is the one I'm operating, and that's what I've got the cab number on there. So that's its normal number, and it's operating in normal mode. So just take it forwards a bit to show that it's moving, and take it backwards. So this is all operating, if you like, as normal. I can turn the headlight on there, so the headlights come on. I can turn the ditch lights on and all the other lights on, etc. on there, and it works as a perfectly normal loco would, with the programming, the functions I've set up. What we're going to do now then is we're going to program this up as the lead loco in our system. So that's what we're going to do. One of the first things I would suggest, it always seems to be better, is make sure that everything's turned off on it. Oh, and I'll just show you the horns working just quickly. Wrong button. So the horn works as normal. What I would suggest though is before you put anything in, you turn all functions off. It seems to work better when everything's off on there on the loco, and I'll just shut it down mainly so that the noise doesn't distract. So that's it as normal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the loco up for as the lead loco. We're going to do the programming for that. Okay, so now we're going to start programming this up as the lead loco to go into this consist. So we select the loco on there. Now obviously the way your system works to program CCs will probably be different to the way mine does it, but it'll probably be very similar in some way, usually some way of method of selecting the CV and then telling it what value you want the CV to be. So that's what I'm going to do on my system. So the way it works on mine is I select program to tell it that I want to program it. I then tell it the CV number. One of the things I always do is leave the consist number until last, right? So that I set it up, tell it how it's to act once it's in the consist, and then I tell it that it's in a consist. So I'm going to start off with CV21 and enter that, and its value of 255, and then CV, and then CV22. That, and that's a value of 61, and then CV245, which is a value of 130, and CV246, which is a value of 212. So now I've set this up to be with all its values set up. Now I'm going to put it into the consist. So that's CV19, and I'm going to give it a value of 10 as the consist number. Just what I use is 10, but obviously you can use anything between 1 and 127. It's quite happy, the system on there. So now that I've set it up, it's now in the consist. So hopefully what we'll see now is it won't respond to the commands going directly to 1776, but it will respond to commands going to the consist number. Okay, we've now programmed up our logo as the lead loco. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the fact that now that I've set it up there, hopefully you can see in there, I've got 1776, the selected as the loco that I want to move. But however, if I turn the throttle, nothing is actually happening on the loco. So it doesn't actually do anything to that. If I then release this loco and pick loco 10. So now I've got 10 selected. So that's my consist number. And now if I do the throttle, the loco will start moving. And obviously in reverse it will do the same. So now it's ignoring any throttle commands for 1776 and only acting on the commands for the consist. If I turn the headlight on, it will come on. I can turn the ditch lights on, any other lights on there as well, and they all come on. We're at the moment we're in forward on there. If I go to reverse, so I'm now in reverse, the headlight has gone off, but what hasn't happened as we move around the back there is hopefully you can see the headlight at the rear has not come on. So this is now programmed up as our lead loco. So I'm going to put it back onto forward, and what I'm doing now is I'm just going to move it further up out the way. So at the moment it's operating as the lead, it's set up as the lead loco in our consist. Just stop it there, and now we're going to bring in the other one. This is bringing in our second loco in our consist, and this is an old Atlas Trainman genset. So we're going to bring it in at the moment. The lights will work as normal. We're controlling it under its road number of 1302. So its lights work as normal. So for example, if I switch to forward from reverse, the rear light will go out. The front light and the front ditch lights will come on, as they should do on there. So we go back into reverse again. And what I'm going to do now is I'm slowly going to couple this up with the lead loco. Put it into forward, give it a bit of throttle. Just to make sure it is coupled. And there we are, we're coupled up. So now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to shut this down, turn all the lights off on it. And there, and now we're going to program up this as the rear loco in a consist running backwards. So now we're going to select our loco again, which is 1302, and enter it, and we're going to program it. This time, this is the rear loco, and it's also running backwards, which is what this means. So now we've got these figures to actually program it up to as we worked out before. The one thing we've got to remember is we need to add 128 to the consist number to tell it that that it is running backwards in the consist. So again, I'm going to program up 21, 22, 245 and 246, and then I'll do 19 to activate them. So CV21, and the value of that is 248. CV22, and the number of that is 57. CV245, this one's easy, it's 130 on all of them. It's worthwhile doing it, even it gets you into the routine of doing all four of them, even though they may be, you may think that they're the same, and making sure that you've actually programmed it. And then the last one is 246, and that's got a value of 244. So now we've done that, so I can release the loco, and we go back and look at the loco again. So we finished programming this up, and it's now as the rear loco running backwards. So there it is at the moment. It's sat there. Again, on my controller, I've got 1302 selected. If I do anything to the throttle, nothing is happening with 1302. It's not doing anything. However, if I select the consist, so we're back on the consist now, and now I tell it to go forward, the consist is now moving forward. And if I put it in reverse, the consist will run backwards. As usual, if I put the headlight on, so using that, the headlights come on the front because we're in forward. If I go to the rear there, if you notice, there's no headlight on the rear of 1302, the genset. There's no headlight on the rear of the Gevo. There's no headlight on the rear or ditch lights on the rear of the 1302, the genset there. If I go to reverse, however, the headlights come on the front end of the genset as they should, because it is now would be the running backwards, so it would have on there. And again, if we go around, you'll see no lights on there. Again, go forward, the light comes on. If I turn the ditch lights on it, they're there. If I go to reverse, the ditch lights go out. But if I go around to the end, the ditch lights are now on the genset. If I so that is now all operating as usual. So now I can run it up the track. We'll go to forward and we'll run it on and get it there and stop it, and that is all running as it should be in our consist. Now imagine on my layout, which is an end-to-end layout, what tends to happen is, if I can sort of show you, the trains come in at that far end there. So this is a transfer run from the main yard at Isola rather. They come in, they will come into that siding there, the main line and the siding that sat there, those two lines just in front of the Protect plastics. The engines will then uncouple, go round the train to the other end, and then couple up to the empty cars or the cars going back from West Isola back to Isola Main. What that would now mean is that as that leaves that way, in fact, the genset is now the lead loco and the Gevo is the trailing loco. So the Gevo comes in as the lead, genset is trailing, and then as it runs back, it runs the other way. So what we're going to look at now is how quickly it is to reprogram these on the fly. And what I tend to do is treat it as though it's the engineer going for his cup of coffee or whatever, checking his paperwork, ready for the next route back, getting in here, checking all the connections, etc. that I presume an engineer and a conductor would do when they were setting off a new one, doing the various bits and pieces. So that's why I sort of envisaged the little time it takes to actually reprogram the two locos to be to run the other way and leave it like that. So what we do now is we'll look at what reprogramming is involved. So here we are back again with the road. We've arrived at West Isola. We've uncoupled from the freight cars we're dropping off. We've run round to the other end. We're about to pick up the freight cars that we're taking back to Isola Main, so we need to swap in the locos over, the lead to become the rear and the rear to become the lead. So it's quite simple. I'm quickly running through these CVs again. So if I select loco 1302, that's now going to be the lead loco. So I can go back up to here. I don't need to do CV19. I need to change because remember I had to add 128 to it because it was running backwards. Now it's going to be running forwards. The rest I go through. So again, doing it the same way. So if I go program 19, enter. So now it's going to be back to being consist 10. and enter it. Program 21 is 255. Program 22, don't know whether you hear, hopefully it's the dog's not too much disturbance. And program 245 is 130. I could have not bothered doing that at all because it's obviously the same for all of them. And 246 is 212. So I've now finished changing the lead over. Now I can go and release that. Now I'm going to go and do 17. I'll get there in the end. 776. So again, program 19. Remember, this time it's going to be 138 because this loco is now. Oh, sorry, excuse my back fingers. We'll try that again. So, you know that. Program 19 and value of 138. Program 21. Enter. Remember, this is now the rear one, so it's 248, 248. Enter. Program 22 is 57. Program 245 is 130. Program 246 is 246 is 244. And now I can go loco release, and it's now all set up for that. So a quick couple of minutes of reprogramming. I've got 10 selected and it's in the forward now. Now you can see that the gen set has got its headlight and ditch lights on. The Gevo hasn't, and if I go to reverse, so it's now on reverse, we've swapped over, the Gevo's now got the light on there. And if I use the throttle on reverse, put the throttle on, it's now running in the reverse direction. So we've swapped ends on our loco. The engineer would now be in 1302 running forwards back to Isola, all with a quick couple of minutes of programming. So here's our third loco we're now going to add on to our consist. This one's an Athen MP15. It came with a soundtracks decoder already fitted. One of the things that's slightly different about here, which we'll see as we bring it in to couple it up, make sure that it's coupled, and it is. So we'll shut that down and turn the various lights off. One of the things that's different about this loco is the long hood is actually the front end. So if you can just about hopefully see it there on the F on the foot plate to indicate that this is actually the front end. So this will be a rear loco, right? We've still got there. So 1776 is going to be our lead loco. 1302 is going to be our a mid loco running backwards, and 1179 is going to be our rear loco running forwards. So now we just need to program those three up. Starting again with the three locos in our consist, we start off with our lead loco, 1776. Select that. We're going to program it up. It's the lead loco. So CV21 is 255. 22 is 61. 245 is 130. 246 is 212. And now obviously we've got to give it the consist number. It's the lead loco running forward, so CV19 is 10, because we're going to use 10 as our consist again. So that's the lead loco done. Now we just need to do the other two. So release that one. Going to select 1302, which is our middle loco. It was the rear one, now it's our middle one, and it's running backwards. So program 21. So it's the middle one, 184, 184. Program 22, 56. Program 245, 130 as usual. Program 246 is 208. And CV19 is the consist. It's running backwards, so add 128, so 138. And then that's our middle loco done, so we can release that. Now we select our last loco, the third one in our consist, so 1179. Okay, we're going to program 21. This is a rear loco, but it's running forwards, if you remember. So rear loco running forwards, CV21 is 248. 22 is 58. 245 is easy, 130. And 246 is 248. 248. And now we've got a program CV19, and it's the consist number because it's a rear one, but it is running forward. So consist 10, enter. And then we can release that, and that's the three locos now set up. So here's our three locos set up, ready to go. So you can see moving forwards there, no problem. And now moving in reverse. So now we've got a 4 loco lash up. What I've done is this is now added to this is a Rapido loco, again with a Soundtracks decoder put in it. You can see this has been programmed as the lead loco in this 4 loco consist. So there's the headlights and ditch lights on. If I go back, the 1179 has now been programmed as a mid loco running backwards. 1302 is a mid loco running forwards, and 1776 has been set up as a rear loco running backwards. So now let's see what will happen when we put the throttles up. We can now see that they're off and moving as a 4 loco consist. So as you can see there, 4 different manufacturers of locos consisted up. Hopefully this video has been useful for some people, may have helped out a bit, answered a few questions, etc. that they may have had about consisting and how it works. So thanks very much for watching if you've sat through it so far, and hope to see you again soon.